Ciryl Gane considers this loss to Jon Jones his very first quote-unquote real loss. And that is what he said. He thinks that for him, this is his first real loss in the UFC. And that's very interesting. Because when a guy loses in the highest level, in the high levels of this sport, which is fighting for titles, what they say after they lose is very interesting. It's always going to be interesting. And Ciryl Gane believes that this is his very first real loss. Now for you, for some people, that may sound alarming. Because obviously he already lost to Ngannou. And for some people, what's very alarming is the fact that Ciryl Gane doesn't consider losing to Ngannou a real loss. And there's very different ways of looking at this. John Kavanagh, Conor McGregor's coach, wrote a book named Win or Learn. Because there's no such thing as win or lose. It's win or learn. Because you don't lose, you learn. Because the moment you lose, you can now learn from your mistakes. Because when you lose, you get humbled. You recognize the mistakes that you make often. And learning, the best time to learn is when you lose. That's why you see a lot of people, when they lose, they learn something. They learn something, they discover something about them. Or when they had a close fight, they get better in their next fight because they learn. And for some people, it's very alarming because Ciryl Gane didn't learn from losing to Ngannou. But here's how I look at it. This is not Ciryl Gane's final form. Yes, he may have lost to Jon Jones, but it's Jon Jones. Ciryl Gane, who never had a grappling match or a wrestling match, cannot be the guy that has been living the wrestling life, that was born in the mats. A guy like Jon Jones. That would be very hard to imagine that Ciryl Gane beats a guy like Jon Jones. But the way that I look at it is that this is not Ciryl Gane's final form. Because he never actually learned from that Ngannou loss. Because if he were to learn from losing to Ngannou, if he were to learn from his mistakes, learn takedown defense, get better at his stance, be better at not being taken down, be better at the grappling, if he were to learn from his mistakes, and he still got taken down by Jon Jones, that would be very difficult. Because that would mean that even after trying your best, it still didn't work out for you. But because of this scenario, where Ciryl Gane didn't learn from his mistakes against Ngannou, that would mean that he still has gaps in his game that he could fill. Ciryl Gane could still be better. This is not his final form. Because if he learns from that Ngannou fight, if he gets better at that Ngannou fight, and he still lost to Jon Jones, that would mean that he's just not good enough. Imagine you train your butt off and you lose. So then the next time, now you don't just train hard, you train smarter. You train even harder, you train even smarter. But you still lose. That would mean that you just suck. That would mean that you're just not good. But I like to look at it in a very different way. Ciryl Gane hasn't learned from that Ngannou fight. Ciryl Gane could still improve his game. But that is just one way to look at it.